Let's Talk Word with Maria, and that's me. And this show is all about people and blogs. We feature different types of people, all kinds of people actually on this show. If you have a talent, you have a passion, you have made a difference in our community, or if you have a story that's very interesting and you want to put it out there, come on to my show and you will be sitting down in this hot seat right here. And today, I am so pleased to announce to you our next guest to be featured on this show. She has been one of the main proponents of women empowerment for several years, and it's a true standout in her field. She has a great understanding of the program like our show because she's been in the broadcasting for several years, or not several years, for a long time. And she has a great appreciation of what it takes to truly make a difference, to continue in a path of progress and a remarkable vision of the future by helping one another. Besides that, she is an author, presenter, radio personality, co-founder of Imagine Now, and an advocate in helping our veterans. She is also just a fascinating person, and we're all in for a treat today because without further ado, I would like to call in Miss Dr. Janet Franco.
Oh, thank you.
Thank
nice
you.
to see you. It's
Thank
wonderful
you
to
for
be
gracing
here.
my show again.
Oh gosh, it's a pleasure and an honor to be here.
Oh, thank you so much,
Maria.
Janet. Thank you so much. I know that you live far away from Las Vegas now, huh?
I don't. I've been traveling. I've been living here, but I've been traveling to Utah. There's a lot of great things we're going to be announcing today that I've been working on. And yeah, so I've been all over the country working with the veterans. And we're trying to get certain things passed so that we can get our veterans treated with this advanced technology that we're going to be talking about today.
Wow.
So I just came in from Utah right now.
I know. She was like, but thank you for gracing my show once again. And I just love you as my guest all the time. I wish I could have you every week. Honestly,
Thank you. You're
she
so
is
sweet.
amazing. I just love with everything that you do.
Thank
You
you.
do to our community, and that's
you.
fascinating. That's phenomenal work that you've done to our community and to people that I know. I know only few people, but if you go online and look at her name, you'll find out all the things. But before that, I am not gonna be the one to spill out of all the things that she has done. So tell us more about yourself first, so that we can, we can know and we
Start
can relate.
somewhere, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Maria, thank you. Actually, I have a very interesting life, and you asked me to do the Women Empowerment program after this one, and I thought a lot about that. And I didn't come to this graceful place planned. I look back on my life and I'm grateful, but I was a professional acrobat for many years. And people may know us as the Flying Francos. My brothers and I were performed for many years.
Wow.
Yeah, did you know that?
No, I didn't know that. Wow, I learn something new every day.
Oh gosh, but yeah. So I did that until I was 19, and then I got hurt really bad. I danced here at the Trop for a while, and then I was a Rudis dancer. And in my teens, I was traveling. While the kids were going to school, I had the stage mom, and yeah, I think that's, Maria, where I got the discipline from, working out, and everybody else was at school doing their thing, and I was training 6 days a week.
Wow.
So I was actually had a decision to make when I was 12, either to work for the Olympics or as a gymnast, or go professional acrobat. And I chose, because we were having problems politically at that time, and I thought, I'm just going to go for it. So I started professionally at 13 and danced in Nassau, Bahamas, but then I was hurt really bad. I wore a body brace for a year. So that's what took me out of the industry. So
How
I
do you
had
feel
that.
about it now? Is it
Oh gosh, when we get done with the show, it's my life with me and my children that caused me to become an advocate and help the less fortunate. I worked with battered women and battered children for years, and I really look at my life now and I think I'm so grateful. So I think people that are watching, women that are watching, people that are having a hard time in life right now, everything in your world has a reason. Everything. And your why has to be big enough. The bigger the why, the greater the victory. Really.
I love that.
Yeah. And it's been in my life exactly like that. When I got married at 19, I had 4 boys by the time I was 27. And my second son, Sean, fell out a window when he was 2.5. And that changed my world, completely changed my world. And he suffered a brain injury, cracked his skull from top to bottom on the right side. And he suffered many years with depression and suicidal tendencies, and it was very hard. And then my fourth son, Brian, was born, and by the time he was like 4 months old, this rash started on his body, and it just completely covered him. And I had to carry him on a pillow for almost a year. Doctors had no cure for him. They said that he was living on 12 meds a day at the age of 8 months. And so they told me that he probably wouldn't live a long life because he was so, he was a mess. And he had asthma so bad that his asthma would lock up and he would be
So is that the reason you stayed home from your acrobat?
Yeah, no, I
career?
retired at 19 because I got hurt. Really bad.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
really bad. And I carried
Were
this.
you married then?
Yeah, oh yeah. I actually married my childhood sweetheart. We met when I was 12.
Oh, wow.
But I traveled a lot, so he played baseball for my dad, and it was just one of those things that every time I was in town, we had this giggly thing. But I was so young at the time. But I was really a lot older than most people are at 14, because my father was a black belt in judo, so he trained us, and he was very, very strict. And so I never had that problem with some of the teenagers have today with getting in trouble and stuff. I was very focused, and I was just very tenacious about my goal of becoming a professional acrobat and hopefully Olympic champion. But I went toward the professional arena.
So let's talk about that, because you mentioned about the kids today that they have all these electronic devices. When parents said no, you cannot go, they still go.
Yes.
You said that you are being very, very disciplined because you have a goal. So what is the message that you wanted to put out there with these youngsters nowadays?
I work a lot with kids. There's a human they're calling the Indigo Children. Are you familiar with them?
No.
IndigoChildren.com is amazing. A lot of these kids that are like the Columbine kids that shot up the school, and we're having a lot of shootings, and these kids, one of the reasons they're having so many problems is they're not being heard. If parents would take more time just to listen to what they have to say, a lot of these kids have solutions for us that we're not giving them the right to have that, right? And I'm sorry, but all the sodas and things that my kids are probably watching right now, and they know I did not allow sodas in our household. Because after my son's injury, we had to be careful what we said, what we ate, the environment, because we were rebuilding a brain. And I had an amazing dream after Sean got hurt. And I saw this crazy piece of clay, and I heard this voice say, if his brain was a piece of clay and you could make it anything, what would you make it? And I said, a castle. Better than it was before. And it became that. He now has like a photogenic memory. He's had this divine healing from God. He won the JC College World Series in 2001.
Nice. Congratulations.
Yeah. So our story will be in book form in 2020.
Wow.
And my first book of 4. I'm writing 4-book series because my life is so gregarious that it's more of a memoir in book form. And the first book is 4 Kids and $5. And I'm sure women out there or single moms or dads can relate to that. I was a single mom for many, many years, and the book is really about how this family stuck together to get through just the horrendous times, just horrendous. So many times the doctor said that my kids would not make it. And I went out and scoured the planet to find answers, and we did. And many people that have heard me either on radio or TV, they've heard of Squalene oil, shark oil from Japan. And I was the one that really marketed that over 25 years ago now. And it became a household name in the alternative industry. And so from that, Maria, I think the story of Faith and Miracles was actually published in Nevada Woman in 1996. And it was a really inspiring story about, a family that stuck together and made it. And not only did my kids make it, they're all brilliant, they're all They're all good-looking, kind from the inside
Well,
out.
they get it from their mom.
Oh, thank you. Well, you know, they open the door for the women, and they're, you know, they're just good kids. And I think mostly what parents need to do, it's not the money, it's not what you can give your children, it's the love, it's
And
the
the
time,
attention,
it's the
yes.
time. I know that a lot of women have to work, you know, single moms and no child support. I've been there too. But there's ways that you can, which I want to talk about in the Empowerment Hour for Women, there's ways that you could finance your family and have everything you want and be there for your children at the same time. I know that because I did it. And so I think that what I want to say today is people look at me like I'm somebody different. I'm not. I'm like everybody else. But I decided to take the hardship and take those lemons and make lemonade. And that's pretty much where I'm at today.
There's a lot of resources. I was talking about resources that we have. God provided us with different resources.
Oh.
You just have to open your eyes
Yes.
and grab those resources to make a living or to move forward with your life.
Yes. Well, I think when I work with people as a life coach, I think, you know, when you're a victim, your life will never change. You know, it's not like I say to people when they come to me with, they're devastated. I say, what did this person do for you, not to you? That
Yes,
sentence
that's
changes everything.
Yes.
What did this situation or this hardship do for you? You can't be a diamond without the fire. It just doesn't happen,
Nope.
right? And so I think now in where I'm at all these years later, just being on radio, oh my God, I was so afraid of public speaking. Do you know I failed every report in school on anything oral reports or anything, and I did extra credit because I could never come home with less than a B or I would be in trouble. And so that came through a lot because when I was asked to do my first radio show in 1989, I'm like, I can't do this. But you know what? I thought, if I don't share this story of how my son healed, then it's going to inhibit maybe millions of people from, you know, taking this story and using it, and it did. Now, 28 years later, it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, that's amazing. You know, your simple story that you think won't change anybody actually can empower a lot of people. Anybody who's listening now, go to, I believe, where did
My website?
Yeah, your website. Yeah.
payitforwardnetwork.net. payitforwardnetwork.net. I can't believe I got that URL. That's pretty crazy. Well, now these years later, Maria, I have somebody very special calling in a few minutes. And over all the years of being on the air, 1994 was our big fight with the FDA. We had the DSHEA bill that we were trying to get passed, and I don't know if people watching now know, but back in 94, they were trying to take all vitamins and all natural means out of our hands and put it under an MD license, which would have changed everything. And so I was asked to represent Nevada with the bill. And so I went to Denver. There was maybe 20 of us that had to figure out how we were going to tell the country that we had 8 months to get this bill passed. And we did. That was the most successful grassroots bill in American history. And Mel Gibson and James Earl Jones came in the last hour. Mel did a commercial, James did a whole documentary on healthcare in America, alternative healthcare. So we got our bill passed, and to this day, my mother said, how are you going to do this with 4 kids, business? I said, Mom, my gut tells me to do this, God tells me to do this, and now because I took the time, follow your gut, took the time to do it, it has blessed me 1,000 times over all these years later, because people remember me back in the day. And if you want to set a cornerstone for life, step out of the box and do what's right, not always what's, you know, there's a difference between being happy and being right. Go and be happy, and then you'll be right. That makes sense?
Yes, that makes sense. You know, I love the way you said it. You follow your gut because your passion. See, you'll never ever go wrong when you follow your passion. Because
right.
when you follow your passion, that's happiness, that's satisfaction within you.
Yes.
So you win or not, you actually enjoy the journey by following your passion.
Well, you know, I have a quote, and that quote is, you never have to work a day in your life if you love what you do. And many years later now, working with these veterans and suicidal veterans, it's very hard. But you know what? I wouldn't, people ask me, would you do something else if you could? I said, no. This is my soul's contract that I made with myself and God, that this is what I'm going to do. And we're doing it, and we're succeeding at it. We're getting it done. So, again, during this hour, I'd love to bring Stephanie Parish, will be coming on soon, and she has Vibrant You Hyperbarics in St. George, Utah.
Oh.
And I introduced her to the Triple Crown of Health and Wellness, which is something I've just coined. And the reason I coined that is because when I was a single mom, going to a health food store, there's this, there's this, there's this. What do you do? What do you take? What is contraindicated? What would hurt if you took this with this? So I made it easy for people now, and now we can we can repair the DNA, we can feed the DNA, we have microcirculation right here, we have hyperbaric oxygen therapy. If everything you need to give you and your family that well-balanced micronutrition that is going to change the nation. We're on our way.
I love what you do, Janet. What I just kind of, when you were saying all these things all together since we started, is, and I said about resources in life, you are putting together all resources that is being brought to you.
Yes.
So these are resources. See, sometimes we need to acknowledge the resources that is being presented in front of us and use those resources in a good way, right?
Yes,
because
yeah.
a lot of people, they use it in the bad way. That's why they don't become successful.
Yeah,
But
you're right.
if you, like what Janet was doing, is all the people around her, she's helping a lot of people, and they present things to her, and she put them together to be a big thing, to make a difference in this world.
Well, thank you, Maria. And I think it's important. I remember two of my kids, I won't name who they are, but one time I was wondering why they were bottlenecking a little bit. And so we went to lunch, and the other one I talked to, and they said, Mom, I can't do what you do. And I learned something from that. Just because my vision is like global and it's like out of reach with most people doesn't mean everybody has to do that. You know, it takes the micro to make the macro. You know, people have to, you know, make your home a place of it's like a sanctuary. If it's just your home, then you know what you've done for the planet? You've made one happy home. It doesn't have to be going out beyond your backyard and making a difference. It's if we had more home and family unit working together, and even if you're divorced, you can still find ways to be friendly to each other and to still love each other. Because love is really the only energy in the whole world that works. So I think when my boys said that to me, I was like, wow, what am I doing? And my one son said, I said, you've got all this ability to make all this money. What are you doing? He says, I just can't make more money than you, Mom. I said, I'm a humanitarian. That's my work, you know, and I've made a lot of money in my career. But when I put my focus on something that sometimes it doesn't bring in all the millions of dollars that you want. And then he went out and soared after that because I gave him permission. So that's a nugget that I want you guys to take with you, because your children watch you. Remember that commercial years ago with that guy was smoking, and then the little kid was smoking, and he looks up at his dad, and it stops right there. The commercial stops right there. It really is, they watch everything you say and do. So don't be doing anything you don't want your kids to do, because they will follow you. So give them something good. Give them a foundation that they go out in the world and they can become who they are, not somebody else wants them to be a doctor because they're a doctor. Let your children evolve into who they were born to be. And I think that's a
set them free. Yeah, I believe that. I have a daughter, so I've been through a lot with my daughter, and I believe that everything she see what I'm doing, she's doing it the same way. So
it's true, and I see, even I have 10 grandbabies now, and I see that even when they talk to their kids or doing something with the kids, you're seeing what you did pass on. And sometimes it's like, "Ooh, did I do that?" No, I didn't do that. But I think overall, if we can make that stamp, we can put that stamp upon. Is that our? Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go and answer this phone call. We're gonna go on break really quick.
Okay.
Yeah, and we will be right back. Please stay tuned, and you're gonna learn more about Miss Dr. Janet Franco. Please stay tuned. We will be right back. There you go. Hello. social media shows
is about
branding and opportunity.
and outreach
We are an entertainment company that empowers others.
by promoting and supporting our community.
And everyone who reaches our content.
here on social media shows.
Here we're a family.
We are family. We are family. I got all my sisters with me. We are family. Get up, everybody, sing. We are family.
We are family.
We are family. We are family.
We are family.
We are family, and we want you to be part of our social media shows family.
Hey, this is Bettina Steinhauer. I am a social media performer and giver to the community. I have 2 shows, Gregarious Joy and Be Bettina Show. I also am a clothing designer, and
Hey, welcome back to Let's Talk World. This is Maria, and I still have Dr. Janet Franco here, and she's gonna be talking about
Hyperbarics, yeah. So what we're going to talk about now, Maria, is the first segment I talked about my journey and coining the triple crown of health and wellness, and it's going to make it very easy for people to keep their health, keep their bodies intact, if you will, anti-aging, and to get well. You know, most of diseases today and conditions are caused by just lack of nutrition and lack of taking care of our body. And I don't know how many out there have heard of hyperbaric oxygen therapy, but I've been studying hyperbaric now for about 8 years. And to date, we have restored over 6,000 brains of our veterans with hyperbaric oxygen therapy.
Wow.
It's really amazing. And I asked Stephanie Parish to call in today. Stephanie, we've met recently. I went to St. George on a prayer, believe it or not, literally. God said, go to St. George in my prayer. That's how I live.
and you listen.
And I listened.
Yes.
And I walk in the door and I meet like my future sister, and her name is Stephanie Parish. She owns Vibrant You Hyperbaric and Light Center in St. George, Utah. And so before I get into the conversation, Stephanie, say hello.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for inviting me on the show.
Thank you for gracing our show, Stephanie. Stephanie is on the phone right
My
now.
pleasure.
Yes, Stephanie's on the phone. So let's talk for a minute, Stephanie, about you are one of the seasoned technicians in the world today on hyperbaric. She teaches people, she trains them, she sells the hyperbaric units. So talk a little bit about Vibrant You, Stephanie. Let the people know what you're doing up there in St. George.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I've been here in St. George for about 4 years. I've been doing this business for about 7. I had a clinic up in Lethbridge, Alberta, Canada for about 3 years. And again, been here about 4 years. We have what's called the Vibrant You difference here. Nobody does quite what we do. I am internationally certified with the International Hyperbaric Association, as well as certified with the National Board of Health Sciences as a light therapist, amongst a bunch of other stuff. And so what we get to do here at Vibrant U is we've got 5 chambers here. There's the mild hyperbaric soft side chambers. So we get to be able to come in and give people the Vibrant U difference, which means we use a combination of different modalities. So we use the hyperbaric, we use vibration plates, we use the PEMS pad for the electrical system in the body. We use the LED or polychromatic light therapy, and this is one thing that's very unique to us, where we put the polychromatic light on the client inside the chamber. So if we're dealing with somebody with traumatic brain injury or concussion, we'll put the blue, red, or near-infrared light right on the brain over the head. And what that's doing is dilating the blood vessels, and then when we're dilating the blood vessels while they're in the chamber, we're able to saturate that area with hyperbaric oxygen. So when that happens, we're getting about 800% more oxygen to those areas that we are able to dilate with the near-infrared light. And with doing that, we see about 60 to 70% faster repair and regeneration of the tissues. And then we've just added what's called the Avicen machine. And
Here it is right here. Yeah, it's right here on the video, Stephanie. They can see it right here.
It's been amazing. We actually got that as an adjunct to what we're doing. And just the thoughts of, and the training that I've had with the doctors that I get to work with, as well as the ones that are on the board with the Avicen, and being able to know that once we've had our clients in the chamber with the blood vessels dilated, the oxygen saturation of the blood at the circulatory level, because it's in the liquid plasma, so it's now in all those little nooks and crannies of the body that it cannot get to when it's on the red blood vessels or the red blood cells. And then we microcirculate it. So we get to push that into every single little capillary in the body. And we are just so blessed here to be able to see the things that we get to see. And probably 80% of my clients that come into my center are here because, one, they've either been given a death gate because of something with cancer or something else, or they've been told that nothing else that the doctors can do is going to help them, or they've been told that, sorry, we can put you on more meds or we can do surgery for you. What we want people to know out there is an alternative. There's an alternative to surgery. There's an alternative to medications. And that's what our goal is. Our goal is to help the body repair and regenerate naturally by putting the tools that it needs. And that's what we get to do. So we literally get to see people walk again that have been told that they'll never walk again. We get to see people with cancer that have been given a 30-day death date that are now 2 years and cancer-free. We never claim anything, but this is just the stuff that we get to see by giving the right tools in the body. And then we just let the body do its job. So we supplement the body with the tools that it needs and watch it do these really cool stuff.
Well, Stephanie, when we met, we had no idea. I had no idea the Huntsman Senior Games was about to happen, like within a week of knowing her, and we decided to see if we can get in the games. There's like 15,000 athletes over the age of 55 that come up there every year. How many years now? 33 years, right? It's been there in St. George?
Yeah.
Amazing. And so
30 represented.
Wow. It just, so when we first met, we said, can we get in the games? And it usually takes 2 to 3 years to get a booth. Mm-hmm. And we're a week away. And so she called, and she knows everybody in St. George, so she calls Jeff, right, Stephanie? He's the head of the games. Yeah. And he said, you're not going to believe this, but somebody just fell out, so I'm going to give you guys the booth.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So we got in, and we became the hit of the games with this machine. And so I'm going to have Stephanie tell you what the experiences were with these athletes. Some of these were athletes from the Olympics, the real Olympics. And so, Stephanie, give a couple stories of that veteran and a couple others. Just give a little overview of a couple of them. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I need to just preface to say I got goosebumps all over. God, that's what Janet said. Because the things that we saw and we experienced and we were a part of were just absolutely kind of mind-blowing. And I've been in this business for a while, as has Janet, but to be able to see what 10 minutes of microcirculation in the hands was doing for these athletes was literally mind-blowing for us.
Yeah.
And to be able to watch this happen right in front of our faces, we had a veteran that came in a wheelchair. His wife said he hadn't been out of his wheelchair for over 3 years. He couldn't feel his feet. He said they felt like they were just lead bricks. And 10 minutes actually, I think he had 15 minutes in the Addison machine, and he's saying, I can feel my feet. They're tingling.
15 minutes.
And as he got done, 15 minutes, thank you. As he got done, he says, I think I want to try to stand up. So we helped him stand up, and he did it. And then he goes, I think I can take a few steps. So he did. He took a few steps.
I mean, everybody was crying. We were all, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, 15 minutes.
Yes, just to clarify, Stephanie, this is a natural alternative medicine. It's nothing like what the doctors prescribe.
Yeah, this is just microcirculating your own oxygen. This machine here.
Yeah, so you don't. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's just circulating your blood. That's what it's doing. It's taking your blood back to what it was when it was young. So it's circulating it, which is creating more oxygen in your blood, which is pushing the nutrients and the food through your system, which is giving your body back what it needs, right? It's just putting your body back into place where it should be once we start getting into these older ages, or we have injuries, or anything can happen, our body starts to change. And we literally had athletes, and bless their hearts, these people are diehard athletes. Obviously, most of them have been doing this for their whole life. And what a lot of people don't realize is the Huntsman Senior Games are the feeder to the U.S. Olympic Senior Games.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of Olympic teams that are there, and just this caliber of talent is beyond amazing there. And we're watching these people with crumpled up hands with arthritis, and they're out there playing tennis and pickleball and doing these other things. And we had this one lady that literally her hand was all bent over with arthritis, and she says, I don't know how I'm going to even hold my racket, but I'm going to do it, you know. And she had her hand in the Addison machine, and literally within about 6 minutes, her fingers straightened out, and she was able to whip them.
You know what,
back the next day.
But by just listening to you guys with all this testimony about this, I should have been there so that I could videotape it, because those are testimony about this, you know, about these alternative medicines machines. Like this one can help a lot of people. I was talking to Brett when you were on the show. I'm like, I wish I have this when my dad are still here. I could have like help him a little bit more, but you know, may he rest in peace. Everything happens for a reason.
And this is FDA cleared medical II device, which is important. It's the first one of its kind in the world for microcirculation and pain relief. And edema is one of the biggest problems in the body. It causes any itis in the body is inflammation, and this is what, you know, microcirculation, getting the oxygen, like she said, oxygen, nutrients, and water to that area. The body has the tools that'll heal itself. We don't have to alter that. So Stephanie, let's talk a little bit about the excitement about what's about to happen in St. George in January. Because
I'm invited, right?
Oh, well, it's going to be for 4 months. It's a 4-month journey.
Oh, okay.
And because I love this woman and her husband so much, Ken, we just connected. So we decided to, drum roll, Stephanie, go ahead and announce it.
So, yes, and those of you that have ever listened to Soulful Rosie before, she is very much an advocate of the veterans, and I've had the privilege to work with a lot of veterans here in St. George. I've got a number of family members that are veterans and are currently serving, and, you know, we just really want to be able to help our veterans and our first responders. Most of my family were firefighters. We've got police, we've got a little bit of everything, and we just really want to help our firefighters, or our first responders, our veterans. And then this dear sweet Janet has been putting together this program for the last 27, 30 years, and has invited us to be part of this program. And what we are doing is she basically has put together a foundation that is going to help not only our veterans and our first responders, but other people that have got any kind of traumatic brain injury. And I deal with this a lot in my clinic. I have a lot of concussions and a lot of strokes and a lot of TBI and PTSD and a lot of depression and anxiety and MS and all these different things that are brain related. And we are going to be doing a study that's going to be starting here in January, the end of January, here in my clinic, where we're going to be taking, we're taking applications right now. We've got an incredible board that we are working with, and Janet brought most of them, and I brought the ones I know, and we've got just some of the very top doctors and scientists and lobbyists
In the world.
and first responders and on our board here that are going to be helping us do this incredible study, so that we can go forward and say, you know what, these are the results we are getting from using this alternative therapy. And of course, Janet can speak more to the reasons behind our motivation of doing this.
Yeah, Stephanie, I'm really excited, and I really prayed about this. Everybody that knows me, I pray about everything, and it's really time to get these white papers out so that these collaborative efforts of products and modalities can come together now and be the protocol that is the Triple Crown of Health and Wellness that we can now bring to insurance companies and bring to the VA for reimbursement and bring to poor these anoxic babies that are near drown. We really are looking, there's everybody, including the White House, looking at this study. It's going to be like national
I'm so
story.
excited. I'm so excited for you, and please count me in on this project because I would love to be part of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Well, you'll have to bring some of the subjects on, maybe when they get started and when they get done, so
Yes.
they can share how their bodies changed. through
Yes,
this.
I think we have a lot of things to be done and put it out there in
Yes.
social media shows.
You'll have to bring her to St. George and do some TV shows out there,
Yes,
Stephanie.
that's what I was gonna say. after the show, I was gonna say that I would like to meet Stephanie in
Yes.
person, and it's only 2 hours away.
Yes.
So it's not that hard to do.
Beautiful city, yes.
Yeah, I love to go there. now that
And my staff here at Vibrant U would welcome you with open arms. I've got the best staff ever, and
Yes, she does.
and they're so well trained, and they love our clients, and this is what people come in here because they can feel the love, and they know that myself and my staff and everybody that comes in here is 100% geared to be able to help them have a higher quality of life. And that's what our goal is. And with Janet coming in here, we'll be able to get some funding behind this to be able to take these incredible modalities and hopefully get them approved by insurance. That's the biggest frustration for most people.
Yep.
Because a lot of our clients are living on just their retirement or whatever they have, and their insurances don't cover this. So we want to be able to go out there and actually show them what we do. It's what we do every day. It's what we see happen every day. But to be able to have the white papers, to be able to go, you know what, this is what is happening.
This is
and
a real
we are
deal.
seeing
Yeah.
incredible care regeneration happening with our clients.
Move those markers for healthcare. Stephanie, do me a favor and give out your website and your phone number in case anybody wants to reach out to you. I'm sure they do.
Absolutely. I would love to have everybody reach out to me. So we are at Vibrant U, which is YOU, VibrantUutah.com. That is our website. All of our information's on there. The phone number here to the clinic is 435-218-7260. Again, that's 435-218-7260. VibrantUutah.com. We'd love to hear from you.
Thank you, Stephanie. I will be seeing you in a couple days, but I'm out here on the trails getting the stuff done for us. So thanks so much for calling in. You're awesome, and tell everybody we say hello.
Yeah, thank you so much, Stephanie, and we will talk to you soon. I will talk to you soon for sure. And that is Stephanie
Parish from Vibrant U. Now, Stephanie, let's put this out publicly. Let's bring Maria to St. George, put her in the chamber, and she could do a live show while we're putting her in, so she's explaining her experience when you're getting a hyper. Would you like to do
I
that?
would love to do that. I love to do that. I am all in natural.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I don't go to the doctors honestly because I am allergic to every prescribed medicine.
Oh wow!
So I need some
You'll love
alternative.
hyperbaric.
Yeah, I need
gosh.
alternative medicine.
Have you ever been in the hyperbaric?
No,
Oh.
never did.
We're
So-
bringing her out. Is that okay, Stephanie?
Well, you know what? Just come into my mind, and I'm sure that you can figure this out, Janet, is we have what's called the Big Mama Chamber.
Yes.
So we can put 2 or 3 people in there one time. It's actually made for wheelchair accessibility.
Yes.
So I've got a number of clients that are in wheelchairs.
I love that.
So we can put the wheelchair in there with our client and a
Wow.
caregiver in there, or we can do 3 of us in there and have a party in there.
Or a TV show.
Yeah, or a TV show. I'll bring my camera inside.
Absolutely. We've been there, done that, done radio shows, and a live TV show would be a hoop to do from inside.
That would be so cool.
Oh,
That would
yeah.
be so cool.
I'm excited.
Well, thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you,
Appreciate you so much. Much love. We'll talk soon, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you for both of you.
Okay,
Thank
honey.
you.
Bye-bye. Bye, honey.
All right, that is Miss Stephanie Parish. You can actually reach her out to the website.
Vibrant You, Utah.com.
.com, yeah.
And her phone number, I can't remember
Yes,
what she said.
that's-
But
yeah.
Vibrant You's okay.
Yes,
Vibrant You, Utah.
just go back to the video and you'll find out her telephone number. That's amazing. I can't, I am so excited. While you guys are
You want to know
talking-
what I'm doing? That's what I've been
Yeah.
doing.
Yes, and that's pretty exciting, and I love it. The Avicen, the hyperbolics, that is alternative medicine for our body. We don't need to worry so much about other things. Like me, I worried about medicine that's prescribed to me.
Yes.
That's why I don't go to the doctor, because it's the same thing. When I go to the doctor, they cannot prescribe any medicine. So why am I going to the doctor if nothing can heal me?
Yeah. Well, that's interesting, because that's how I got into this industry, because my kids were not doing well. But I want to say the Triple Crown of Health and Wellness is 3 categories. That's why it's Triple Crown. It's oxygen therapy, microcirculation is 1 category. The second category is DNA nutrition and DNA repair, which has never been put together. We can actually grow telomeres now under science. We already know we can do this. We can repair your DNA. Do you know, Maria, if you took your DNA and stretched it out straight, it'll go to the moon and back 10 times. That's how much DNA you have in your body. And every part of your DNA is coded. So they say thousands of times a day your DNA is damaged. So now we have what they call a nanopeptides that go in and feed your DNA and repair your DNA. So studies have shown that we've seen the results of kidneys growing back with kidney failure. We've seen unbelievable. WHO and the NIH took the money to study this particular breakthrough, and we just got it into the United States 2 weeks ago. So it'll be a part of the Triple Crown. And the third is very exciting. It's quantum energy technology. We're working with the best in science, bringing CBD or any of these 528 frequency. They could stamp it and put it into a holographic sticker now and put it on your body for pain, for depression. This is all going to be in the study.
Oh my God.
It's gonna change. It's gonna be a game changer. Yeah. Well, I've been working almost, as you said, out 30 years to do this. I told God, if you help my children, I will dedicate the rest of my life to paying it forward.
I love it.
That's what we're doing.
But you know what? Before I forget, I would like to actually show our viewers a video that I had find out researching about this woman, although I know her already, but I just want to actually share with you with this one, and we're going to talk about this after we show it, all right?
Okay. Oh, that one. Okay.
It's a privilege to introduce Dr. Janet Franco, a.k.a. Soulful Rosie, a humanitarian, a leader, life coach, motivational speaker, mother, and vice president of Imagine Now. Janet has been on a mission for 11 years as an advocate for our veterans suffering abuse. This personal mission quickly grew when she was informed of the horrific story of Michael and Erica Frensley, both veterans. Janet went into action to offer a kind heart, empathy, and solutions to deal with our broken system, perpetuating drug abuse and traumatic brain injuries. Listen to this compelling story on how Janet, 2019 Woman of the Year, honored by My Vegas Magazine, was able to save this family from despair, anguish, and financial disaster. Without further ado, Dr. Janet Franco.
And Mark, I want to say thank you for the magazine. It was a real honor. It was unexpected, and I don't do things for that reason, but this magazine has helped our veterans in this mission more than you can imagine. So thank you, and thank you, Fran. Thank you so much. You guys can look at your lives and think of those things that just you feel like you're just not going to make it another day. Right, Christopher in the foxhole, right? You're a combat veteran, right? And Will, combat veteran? Bruce? You get, these veterans that I've worked with over 13 years, they say when they're in the foxhole in these scenarios, that's where they really find truth and find God. Can you remember that? Can you? So I've noticed that when my kids were in hospitals and they weren't given the chance to live, that's when you can really look at yourself. What would love do now? So when you find yourself in these situations where I was actually hiding, I wanted to quit so bad. And then that little baby in the back, baby Christopher's family, you can meet him today, he getting near drowning in 2007. They found me through Eden Carlson, which drowned for 5 hours, pronounced dead for 5 hours. They found Dr. Hartman in New Orleans, and he went to New Orleans and spent 2 years fully restored his brain, her brain to full capacity. And she was on the Today Show about a year ago. So that's how they found me, and now we have 1,000 babies that are under this protocol for hyperbaric.
It starts with us. It doesn't start with our neighbor. It doesn't start with New York or Washington. It starts with us. And I don't mean to be brutal, but I'm just so passionate. And because we have the answer, we can heal this now. We can heal this now.
Whether your company or organization requires inspiration, a deep touch of faith, engaging that great drive to succeed, dream, or achieve sought-after goals, Dr. Janet Franco will empower your team or audience to new heights with her dynamic presentation style, touched by her personal conviction. Her impact has motivated her audiences around the world for over 2 decades.
There you go. Yes, that is actually a video, a promo video of Dr. Janet Franco. She is voted as Woman of the Year in 2018 on My Vegas with Mr. Oh no.
No, that was Bruce Marin was
Marin.
on the video. He's
Yes.
Celebrity Speakers. He's the one that books me for speaking engagements. But the magazine, that was really. Well, 2 things happened the last couple of years. I had somebody nominate me for getting my honorary doctorate in philosophy and theology, and so you have to go through this rigorous interview, and so I went down to California and went through a couple interviews, and then they gave me the Lifetime Achievement Award along with my doctorate.
Oh wow!
And that was 2 years ago, and then this. I had no idea. I was blown away. I don't do it for this reason, Maria. It's just people watch you when you're not looking, and I think this particular interview, this particular story, is cut front and back, which they normally don't do. But because the subject matter was so important, this is all the statistics on our veterans, and we have the #1 city in the country for suicide. 1 every 3 days here in Las Vegas. So they gave me the back cover for that, and then the story just has helped so many people that are having hard times, and now they can find what we're doing in the technology, and so it was a complete honor. It was really amazing, really.
So tell us a little bit more before we end up. We say goodbye.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the image now.
Imagine Now?
Imagine Now.
Imagine Now came about when I was asked to help veterans in 2006. How do you do that, right? I was working on cardiovascular disease at the time and natural means, but I just had no idea when I was asked to help the military. And so I prayed about it, and I had this crazy dream that'll be in my book. But I said, okay, well, what do I do, God? And so we launched the project with the Rose of Love tribute. And when I came back to Vegas, I wanted to start some kind of a movement, so I called it Imagine Now, Nurturing Our Warriors. But it was a campaign up until about 5 years ago when I met my partner, Barry Muse, that you met. Mm-hmm. And he's a retired Air Force colonel, a combat fighter pilot, Vietnam, suffered Agent Orange himself. And so we put this together. It was a 501c3 as of about 4 years ago now, 3 years ago. And so Imagine Now is really nurturing our world now, because we're treating anoxic babies, we're treating autism. I don't want to use the word treating. We're giving the body the tools to heal itself. But the different conditions we're working with is diabetes, autism, Parkinson's, MS, stroke. Across the board, our doctors around the world we're seeing a new day in healthcare. So before I retire, I want to be able to pay it forward, the legacy, to be able to now anybody and everybody can get treated properly with a reimbursable insurance or the VA to take care of our nation. And that's my goal.
So if people want to donate to the Imagine Now, where they can go?
Absolutely. They can go to imaginenow.org and go there, and we have Baby Christopher. We have a GoFundMe site up there to raise money for little Christopher that drowned in 2017 when we're bringing him back. And this little machine here got his hands open in one session that had been closed and clinched for 2 years. So just go to imaginenow.org and please do what you can to help us and pass the word on, because that's really, if you know people out there struggling, please have them give me a call. Payitforwardnetwork.net. My phone number's on there. So it's payitforwardnetwork.net. And I'd love to come in and do some life coaching or some presentations for your company or organization, because I'm really all about inspiration. So I'm really excited to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Doctor. And I'm so happy to have you once again, and I hope to have you more in the future.
Oh yeah, we got to have you come up to St. George.
Yes.
Get you in that chamber. Won't
I
that
want
be
to
fun?
go to. Yeah, I wanna try that. I think that's gonna be a life changing for me.
Yes, it is. And you know so many, I mean, look at you, you're on the air here. We really need to bring this to the masses now.
Yes,
so
let's
thank you,
do
Maria.
it. Yes.
Yeah,
thank you so much. And for those viewers out there, if you miss the first part of our show, you can go back to our page. You can also go to YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, all social media platform. And if you guys have a talent, you guys want to share your story, whatever story it is, we welcome you to our show. And next week, where we're not gonna show next week live, we're gonna do a pre-recorded show next week. But the following week, we're gonna have a brand new guest on Let's Talk World, and we're gonna have brand new shows coming up next month, December. And for those who actually continue to watch us and follow us and share our videos, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart on behalf of social media shows. But before I go, I just want to I want to talk to you about this later. But before I go, I just made this event on our page with GI Connection. We are gonna be having Christmas cruising at Las Vegas Boulevard. This is a cause. This is to help our homeless veterans, to give them a shelter. So if you want to know more about this, it says on our page, you are invited. I'm going to be actually posting this flyer. It's going to be a flyer right now. It's just a layout. I just build my chairman of the board, co-chairmans of the board to do this. It's just a small thing. It's just a small thing to actually help.
Starts there, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So please go on our page and please go and donate, or please go and purchase one of the donation package, which means you can drive and decorate a monkey, and it's an electric car. So please support our causes, because this is not for us, it's for our community, all helping one another. So I think that's it. Thank you so much for staying with us. It's been a pleasure staying with you. It's been a pleasure to have you back here. And this is Maria of Let's Talk World. We're gonna have some more guests in the coming future. So please stay tuned every week. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you so